Hello viewers, welcome to our Unity Android game development channel. This is our episode number 5. In the previous episode, we created our first C# script, we triggered our animation, we learned to cache our getComponent variables in the editor. You can see here we learned about some fixed or default functions of Unity game engine like start, update, fixed update. Now in this episode we will complete the rest part of this script. So let's get started. I forgot to tell one thing. If you missed the previous episode, then you can click the link below in the description given, and or you can also click the playlist link given below in the details. So where were we? Whenever I am clicking on the screen, our bird is flapping and a velocity is added to the upward direction, to the y-axis. Now what we have to do, we have to detect that if our bird touches the right wall, we have to move the bird backward. And of course our bird cannot move in this direction, into the opposite direction. We have to flip our bird. How can we do that? Let's watch this in the inspector panel. Excuse me, the scene preview. Whenever our bird is going to touch the wall, we will flip our bird. How can we flip our bird? In the SpriteRenderer component of the bird, there is a attribute flip. See, after clicking the flip X, our bird has been flipped, and then we can decrease the X to touch the left wall, and again we can uncheck the flip X, and then we will move our bird towards the left, and so on. To change the X here, we need the SpriteRenderer component to be accessed, SpriteRenderer component to be accessed in the code. I will take the SpriteRenderer component public SpriteRenderer, SpriteRenderer2D, SpriteRenderer2D, or no, only a SpriteRenderer, SpriteRenderer bird sprite, bird sprite. Now we will detect collision. For detecting collision, we will create another script and we will name it WallCollision. Let's just open the WallCollision script. Here again the default functions: start, update. We don't need any update function here. Let's take a function on OnCollisionEnter2D, excuse me. OnCollisionEnter2D. This function is triggered, this function is called automatically whenever a object is colliding with another object. As this we have added box collider 2D, circle colliders, our colliders are 2D, so our functions will be OnCollisionEnter2D. This takes a parameter, this will be a Collision2D object, and we will call it target. OnCollisionEnter2D, Collision2D target. There are more functions like OnCollisionEnter, OnCollisionExit, but as we have to detect the collision immediately to this edge of the wall, we will use OnCollisionEnter. Now let's just test if it's work or not. So whenever this touches, we will print the target dot game object dot name. The target is a Collision2D, and the game object, this game object will access to the game object, main game object of which has collided with this collider. Our bird has a flip. Let's make it to 0 0. Look here in the console. Excuse me, I forgot to attach the script WallCollision with the walls. Add component, go to the script WallCollision, roof script WallCollision, floor script WallCollision. See, bluebird. When it is touched the up again, so whenever it is touching, I am getting the target Collision2D object. The target Collision2D object is the bird, is the bluebird, and the game object component, we are printing the name here. Now let's create a tag for our bird. We will access the game object not by its name but by its tag. We'll add a tag called bird and set the value as the bird here. Bird sprite, none SpriteRenderer. Okay, everything is done. Bird. Now go here. We'll say if the target dot game object dot tag is equals to bird, name object dot tag is equals to bird, we will do two things here. We will flip the bird, and also we need another variable, a boolean variable. We will call it, let's define it in the bird flap script. Public bool go forward. Let's control X, cut the value here, and check if our bird is going forward or not. If our bird is going forward, then we'll do this, else we will decrease the X value in the same speed it is going forward, and the same speed it will go backward. Let's set the go forward value to true, as our bird will initially go forward. Now in the bird flap script, we have to access that sprite renderer, we have to flip our bird, and we have to set the go forward value to false. Then the bird will start going backward. Now how can we access the bird flap script variables from the WallCollision script? There are many ways. Actually, there are two ways you can access. I will try the most efficient way to access the script. Let's just show you some less efficient way. Public bird flap bird script. Bird script dot bird sprite dot flip x. The boolean flip x will set to true. We'll check if our bird is going forward or not. Bird script dot go forward. If the value is true, then if the value is true, list bird script dot bird sprite dot flip x is equals to true, and our bird script dot go forward will be false. Else let's just copy and paste it here. It will set to false, and our bird value go forward value will be true. This is it. Now you can see bird script has a bird flap object. will initialize. We have to go to all the objects that is containing this WallCollision script, and we have to initialize the bird script in the inspector panel. Unreferenced actions. Oh, excuse me, I forgot this SpriteRenderer. SpriteRenderer, hit apply. Now see, it's pretty cool stuff. Our bird is now falling down. Now let me explain two things. Why should I need this? I don't need this in this game, because there are no running dynamic game objects, or we have to detect collision. We just have a bird in the screen, nothing else. But in an advanced game there will be more and more objects. Then we need to distinguish them by their tag. So I have created this condition to practice, nothing else. And one more thing, the left wall, the right wall, the roof, every wall has a WallCollision script. We have to initialize this bird script variable every time. Now think, if there are a WallCollision object, a WallCollision collision detection object, like 50 or hundreds of objects in a scene, you have to initialize this variable 100 times. So this is quite embarrassing. Now let me introduce you to a new technique. In the bird flap script, public static, we will create a pointer, an instance of this class. This will be a static and public variable, public static bird flap. Let's call it bird script. And we will always initialize this variable in the awake function. If bird script is equals to null, then bird script is equals to this. So bird script is a bird flap type variable, and it will be initialized with this instance in the awake function. Why do you have to declare it in the awake function? You can also do it in the start function, but there will be more and more script, 10, 20 more and more scripts in the game, and they all have a start function. The awake function calls before the start function. So it is safe to initialize this in the awake function. Some script may have to access this bird script in their start function. Some have to access this bird script into their start function. Now if you initialize this variable in the start function, all game objects start functions calls, actually their calls very close times. So this is not safe. Sometimes your game may stuck that it will before initializing this bird script, they will try to access this bird script from another script. So in result it will get a null reference. So it is good to initialize your variable in the await function. It is safe part. Now let's just on collision target.game object we will call it like this. We'll call bird flap dot bird script dot go forward. So we do not need to initialize them. We just create an instance here, initialize it in the own script, and we will access it anywhere in this scene. Now bird flap dot bird script dot go forward. Let's just copy and paste the part here, copy and paste the part here. Left wall, right wall, they do not now have any instance, and you do not need to initialize them manually for every wall. Now let's just check. Yes, our bird is flapping and our bird is colliding with the wall. Thank you for watching our video. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel. Please do comment and like our video, share it to Facebook or Twitter, and for more latest updates follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook. The links are given below in the description, and in the next episode we will learn to instantiate our spikes. There will be spikes in the game and we will trigger our die animation on the basis of touching the spikes. Thank you, stay tuned, and please do subscribe.